So today I had to do a dental surgery and I had to do anesthetics, and it was like I had to be sedated to do the surgery because of how deep the root of my teeth is at the back, because it is wrapped around so many nerve endings. So I had to be sedated. So like I have not been put to sleep for a surgery for like, I'm talking like 20 years, because even when I did C-sections I was totally wide awake and alert and everything. So this was like, it was so nerve wracking. I couldn't believe how nervous I was. So the doctor was asking me, where do I want to go? So I was like, oh, I want to go to Fiji. You guys, Fiji is on my bucket list forever. So if you've watched any of my videos, you've always probably like, that's always my bucket list travel. I definitely need to go to Fiji at some point. So I was so worried about it. So we were told that it would take like maybe around 45 minutes to do the surgery. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what happened. So they actually gave me the anesthetics here, and I was talking, and then there was nothing. Nothing afterwards. Everything just like I like nothing afterwards, to be honest. I was like, initially I was like, I am not in, like, I don't know about anybody else, but falling asleep for me, like if I'm going to bed to fall asleep, it's always like okay. But to be put to sleep or anything like that, I am like, I don't take those things well. Like even when I had to do an MRI, and like I was supposed to go into the MRI machine, so you literally, you're vacuumed into this thing. And I have been like, I was like, no, I am never ever going into an MRI machine like that again, to the point where this year I had to do another MRI on my spinal cord, and I literally, my heart went from 0 to 200. I was like, no, I'm not, nobody will put me back into that machine ever again. Like that was it for me, like never. So I was sent to do it somewhere else that was less traumatic, to do the MRI, and that was fine. So today to do the surgery, so I was trying to be more mature about it and everything, and just hoping for the best. So they actually did not take out the entire thing. So what they did was they actually just they cut it like in half, you guys. So you can see here where they actually cut it down in half. So there is actually the rest of it left there, so as to not destroy my nerve. The entire area of my root canal, the root of my teeth, is wrapped around so much nerve. So I was given amoxil, which is antibiotics, and also I was given this one called Tylex, which is for the pain. So you guys, like if ever you have to do like I didn't even know that if it's like, depending on how it is, that it could be cut off, like some of it could be cut off, just to prevent nerve damage, because I did this one and all of it was surgically removed. And up to this, that was done in like 2017, and up to this day, like, it's still numb across here, which I now understand that if I perhaps if it, the that route was taken where you just take off the most difficult part that is causing the problem, because what is happening is that these wisdom teeth, they are growing and forcing my teeth forward, whereas the root is going backward, and so they have to be removed. And I honestly fast forward to this day. That's why it took me so long to get any, like they were saying you need anesthetic because of where the nerve endings are. So perhaps if that was done on this side, I probably would be less traumatized about this one, and also I would probably still having feeling across here, because this was 2017 and I have tried all sorts of remedies, like all the herbs that is recommended, all the supplements that are recommended that should help your nerve ending to grow back. I have tried those already. I'm still not getting that response that I was hoping for the nerve ending to meet back. But hey, I am still young enough for I would say to give it an opportunity to see if it grows at least a bit, just to meet again, because I've seen the x-rays and it's like this amount apart. So if somehow just continuing with trying my best with herbal teas and those kind of thing, if somehow they will eventually just meet again, because you can feel the numbness along here, and that can be, it can be pretty annoying, to be honestly. Like, it's the most annoying thing, because sometimes you go along here and it just feels so tingly. Yeah, like really tingly. So my hope for here is that with how it was done, that I don't get that tingly feeling futuristically, because as I said, this one was 2017 and now we're in 2022 and the tingling is still there. Life comes with so much trauma and stress and changes, and then you come to realize, like, wow, it's just life. It's just those life stresses that comes with being human. And I honestly, I think I have started to just acknowledge the fact that these things are just a part of life's growth and life's stresses, and it's just something that we just have to accept and just try to live with it. Personally, it can be very stressful at times when you think that this is not how I used to be, this is not what things used to be like, like, especially if you were somebody who, like, you thought you were perfectly fine. So I think I've grown, you know but I tell you guys, like, if you have to do like these form of extractions where your teeth is wrapped around nerve endings, perhaps you could speak with your dental, your orthodontist, what your options are. I pray that nobody will ever have to touch me with any extra sharp knife, needle, and thread, because that's what's up in there right now, again, for as long as I live. So for all of you out there, if you're going through pain, if you're going through trauma, if you're going through stress, if you feel like your world is coming to an end, I say to you today, it doesn't have to be that way, because so many of us have gone through and came out on the other side, and we're still here, still fighting the good fight. You can do it too. You can do it too. You just have to start to speak that strength into yourself. You've got to wake up and speak life into your heart, because honestly, sometimes you're waiting on people to speak life into you and you won't get it. You will not get it. Sometimes you have to speak life into yourself. When you don't have the counseling that you need, sometimes you have to dig deep and be your own counselor and ask God to give you counseling. And sometimes the words that comes to you, wherever it comes from, when you hear those good words saying to you, you can go on. You can fight. You can fight back. You don't have to give up today. I know it seems as if it's coming to an end. I know you feel as if you're dying. I know you feel as if it's not gonna happen for you. I know you feel as if you will not make it through this moment. But you can. You can make it through this moment. Just fight back. And if there's ever one thing I would like to leave everyone with, is the fact that sometimes people say, what would you say is your biggest weakness? I said my biggest weakness is my inability to give up. I don't know how to give up. And then somebody would say, but that is supposed to be your strength. So I would say maybe my strength is also my weakness. I don't know. I have gotten up before I said, I give up. And the next day I realized I feel so much better. And I'm like, I thought yesterday you were going to give up. Then something happens again. I'm like, oh God, I give up. And I find myself working through it. And I have realized that my biggest weakness is my inability to give up. And I pray that you'll find the strength, or even allow your weakness to be your inability to give up, no matter what the circumstances may be. Once again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me in my pain and distress. And because there's nobody here with me, I am alone. Please remember to hit the share button, leave a comment below, and a thumbs up. And if you like this video, please hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you can be notified every single time that I make a post. Stay connected, you guys. I love you all. And I will see you all in the next one.